One sec, my mom's texting me. What's up guys, it's Justin here, and today I've got a video showing you what is on my iPhone 10. So I've had this phone for over 2 weeks now. I did my full review and I also showed you some of my favorite cases as well. And I have to say, this is actually a phone that I'm going to be using as my daily driver because when I first received it, I didn't think I was going to switch over from my iPhone 8 Plus, but I've been really happy with it. And despite a few quirks here and there, I've gotten used to most of the gestures right away. If you didn't know already, I'm also giving away one iPhone 10 on the channel, so what you have to do to enter is make sure you're subscribed to the channel, leave a comment on this video, and also drop a like as well. And I'll be announcing a winner over on Instagram and Twitter on December 20th, so make sure you're following me there as well. You can go ahead and leave one comment on each video that I mentioned the giveaway for one entry. So starting out with the cases for the iPhone 10, in this video I kind of just took off the cases that I had on it just so we can see the phone on its own. But some of the cases that I'm using the most with my iPhone 10 are the Apple silicone case, but also the Kadabi sheath case, because it is the thinnest case that I own. It has a very nice TPU finish and offers protection all around the phone, but the buttons are also very tactile and it still offers enough protection in most cases for how I treat my device. I'm gonna go ahead and leave a link to that in the description section below. So for those who didn't know, the iPhone 10 that I got is the 256 gig in space gray, and I think it looks pretty good. I kind of just wanted to get the space gray one because it matches very well with the front, but I actually kind of like the white one as well, so who knows, I might pick up one of those as well. But I do have 135 apps on my iPhone 10, which is ridiculous. But honestly, I only use about a dozen on a daily basis. If you see my suggested apps right here, I literally use my social media networks and a couple things here and there, but for the most part, this is a utility phone for me. I don't play any games, I don't really have time to play games. I do have an Xbox One X and a PS4 Pro, but I literally probably play those once a month when friends come over. But if you guys have any good game suggestions, go ahead and leave a comment down below as well. But let's just start out with the first page, and the way I've sorted my apps is just based on priority and where I feel like it looks good with the icons. As effective as folders are in terms of sorting apps, I think they look awful, so I don't actually use any of them. So if you go on my front page, I do have Facebook, and yes, I still use Facebook because it seems like in Canada, everyone from high school and stuff still uses Facebook and hasn't really used Twitter. Obviously, Twitter is an app that I use a ton, and as you can see, some of these apps, or most of the major ones, are already optimized for the iPhone 10, so it does take up the entire screen, which is nice, especially for timeline apps. Instagram is also an app that I'm on like the entire day, and being a YouTuber, of course, and I'm sure a lot of you guys who are watching this video as well, I watch a ton of YouTube videos. I think I'm subscribed to like 150 channels, and I watch every single one essentially. So that is pretty much what I spend a lot of my free time doing, just watching a ton of videos from streetwear to tech. Obviously, I'm also on Creator Studios a lot just to check out how my videos are doing, but I also reply to comments a lot. I try to do that as much as possible, whether I'm in class, eating a meal, or even sitting on the toilet. I just like to interact to you guys, but of course there are a ton of comments, so apologies if I don't get to yours. On the front page, I use Snapchat, which is mainly just a personal account, and also Hangouts, which is for my Android friends. But otherwise, that is my social media platforms. And beyond that, an app that I spend a lot of time on during the day is obviously Notes, because that is where I actually collaborate with my editor in terms of coming up with video ideas and also planning out episodes. I find that for group notes, Notes from Apple just works the best, especially because I use a Mac as well. I use reminders as well, and I don't really like to use third-party apps when it comes to this kind of stuff because I find Apple's just syncs the best. But one app that I absolutely hate, but still have to use a lot, is Facetime, because Apple just hasn't fixed that in so many years. One of my favorite apps by far though is Spotify, and that is my music streaming platform of choice, and I literally live on this app whether I'm driving around, I'm listening to music at home, but I just love Spotify, and I'm sure you guys already know that, but I just wanted to get that out there. It also finally got the update for the iPhone 10 like 2 days ago. Moving on to the second page here, Deliveries is an app that I use for tracking my packages. I've been using this for so many years now, and it does a very good job. And of course, UPS has delayed my package once again, as you can see here. If I'm like traveling or something, I also use Yelp occasionally when it comes to picking restaurants, but I find that the choices aren't actually that good. I've seen some good restaurant ratings on Yelp, ended up trying it and not really liking it, so I find Instagram actually the better place to find new restaurants to eat. I mean, you kind of eat with your eyes too, right? Below that, I have some of my shopping apps, including eBay and Amazon, and just going through some of the Amazon orders I have here, it's just random crap, as you can tell, but Amazon Prime is awesome, and Black Friday is also this week as well, but I think it would have already passed after you guys are watching this video. I literally drive by a mall that has everything I need in terms of basic things for the house on a daily basis, so I don't know why, but I still think it's just more fun to order stuff on Amazon online. eBay is also something that I use to buy and sell, in some cases clothing. As you can see, I bought this bomber jacket, which I don't know if it's gonna look good or not, but eBay and Amazon are definitely things that empty my wallet on a daily basis. Another app and service that I recently started using and can definitely recommend to you guys is Bayer Vpn. Because I live in downtown, I do go to a lot of coffee shops just to hang out and get some work done on mornings, and obviously I do bring my computer and my phone, but you never know whether or not the network they have is safe, whether someone has hacked into it and has access to the information that you're browsing and also your passwords. So with Bayer, it actually encrypts your web traffic so nobody can see your browsing activity and your passwords are safe. It hides your IP address so you can browse more safely and securely, and you can have up to 5 devices on an account, whether it's your smartphone, tablet, or computer. The app itself is very intuitive and well optimized, and allows you to select from a whole array of different countries to set your VPN to. Literally, all you have to do is select your country and turn it on and off directly from the app, and you are good to go. So it just keeps everything very simple. And you guys can go ahead and try out Bayer for free by using the link tunnelbear.com/Justin, and I'll leave a link down below. I would also like to give a huge thanks to them for sponsoring this video. Otherwise, we just have some of the banking apps, another note app that I stopped using because Evernote just really isn't good for collaboration. There's also UPS if I need to pay those Canadian custom fees. And an app that I use a ton to edit all my photos now is Visco. So I know a lot of you guys like to ask how I edit my photos, and I might do a dedicated video on that, so let me know in the comments section below. But I do have a Canon 6D, which I use for photos, a full frame camera, and I shoot in RAW, but what I like to do most of the time, because I'm just posting to social media, is actually just import my photos into Visco and edit them right here, because there is support on some mobile apps such as Lightroom and Visco for RAW. For the most part, Visco does have everything I need when it comes to editing my photos just for social media, and I also do have a subscription to Visco X, and that allows me to actually edit video footage on my iPhone 10, which is pretty awesome, and I have actually used it quite a few times, especially in the car episodes. So how this kind of works is you have all of your video files right here, and you can just import them into Visco, and you can navigate through all of your different filters and also do some minor editing as well. And I know all these videographers that are going to be watching my video are going to wonder why the hell I'm doing this, but for me, I think it actually achieves the look pretty nicely, and I'm able to import footage from my Panasonic GH5, which I'm filming on, directly into the camera through the SD card adapter. If I need to edit my photos a bit more, perhaps a low light situation like this one, then I'd put my photo into Lightroom Mobile, because I do have Creative Cloud, and that allows me to have much more flexibility, but I am quite intimidated by the settings because I'm not an expert editor. After finishing up my photo in Lightroom though, more often than not, I will import it back into Visco just to get that artistic look that I like, especially with that hypebeast filter. I actually don't use Apple Pay, but I do use Apple Wallet when it comes to tracking my flights. For the longest time, I was very old-fashioned. I just printed out my boarding passes and always lost them. So I do use Apple Wallet, and as you can see, we have been to many places this year, but I do like to use Apple Wallet for tickets only, and I don't like to use Apple Pay or any mobile platform at all. The Starbucks app is also one that I use a ton because I live pretty close to Starbucks, and honestly, I should just stop. I just bought a Keurig the other day, but I still order stuff like a baked bagel or cut apples from Starbucks, which is ridiculous, but I kind of like having a walk every morning, and Starbucks at least gives me a reason to go out. I think as we move on further in the pages, these are the apps that I use less and less comparatively to the others, but some of them that I really like to use are CoinTossed when it comes to deciding who gets to be the home team in NHL 18 or 2K, or deciding who has to pay for a meal just for fun. So I think this app is just something that's nice to have at all times. I also use it when deciding whether or not to buy something a couple times, so it's a very simple app, but I think it works very well. Another app that a lot of you guys have been asking about is Splashtop. So what this app does is allow me to control my MacBook from my phone. Essentially, all I have to do is install the streamer on my computer and set up my account, and I'm able to send a file to myself or even edit part of my video directly from my phone depending on internet connection. So there's actually a couple times where I messed up my video and had to edit one small thing on my computer, but I was at school, so I was able to do that while trying to pinch and zoom and very inconveniently do that from my phone. But at times where you have to, perhaps you have a school assignment that you didn't upload to the web, you can do that very easily from Splashtop, and it works very well, but the app definitely needs to be optimized. When it comes to some of the apps that I use to buy clothes and shoes, I use Grailed occasionally, and I also have Goat as well. Some of the shoes that I really want to buy at the moment are the whole Off-White collection. I'm obviously just like very obsessed with the whole shoe game, and I've kind of stopped for a few months now, but I want to get back into it, and the new Off-White Nike collection looks really good, and they actually dropped just this morning, but I didn't have any luck, so I'm gonna have to go on Goat, for example, to pay resale. And The one that I really want, honestly, is the Off-White Air Jordan 1 Retro, the Vapor Max, the Air Max 90, and otherwise I'm not a big fan of the other ones. I also use StockX occasionally, but more just to track the price of certain shoes. I really prefer to just pay a little bit more and buy things locally if possible because it's faster and safer. But like I said, StockX is a great way to track how much the market price for a given shoe is and making sure you're not overpaying, which I have done in the past. Honestly, as we scroll through here, these are apps that I haven't used in many months now, but because I have 256 gigs, I kind of just have them installed. I do use Sonos as an alarm clock because I just got my Sonos for the bedroom. You guys might have seen that in the tour, but I actually don't use many of the Sonos's capabilities, aside from playing some music occasionally and also using it to wake me up every morning through a Spotify playlist. I also use a very simple but effective app called Video Crop a lot as well because most of the things that I post are to social media, so in case I have to crop a video for portrait or in landscape, then I can literally go into Video Crop and just stretch it to the frame I want and export it again in full resolution. My manual camera app of choice is ProMovie, and it gives me a lot of flexibility when it comes to setting white balance, exposure, and stuff. I don't use it too much, but when I need to, it's very handy. But like the other apps that I mentioned, it does need optimization for the iPhone 10, as you can tell. But I think a lot of you guys know already that the iPhone 10 has an incredible camera when it comes to the main camera and the stabilized secondary camera, so I actually use my iPhone 10 a lot when it comes to taking photos and videos despite having like 3 cameras. I haven't actually tried out that many AR related apps, but after seeing some videos demonstrating the capabilities, I decided to check some of them out. One of them is an app called Stack, which is sort of a game, and otherwise I don't really play many games, but I think it is cool to play. The other app I have is called Planer, and I don't really know how to pronounce that properly, but this allows me to measure objects, and for very simple things such as a countertop or a table, it actually works pretty well, but for bigger things, just get a measuring stick. Since I'm putting together my apartment right now though and getting furniture and figuring out what I need to buy for it, this app comes in very handy just for quick measurements. Because I definitely have ordered things completely the wrong size just from being too lazy to measure in the past. But there you have it, these are my apps for the iPhone 10, and I've been talking for 31 minutes now. I have 135 apps, but I honestly use maybe 15 of them. I don't really need the rest, but because my iPhone has so much space, I kind of just decided to keep them around in case I perhaps need them one day. But go ahead and leave a comment down below as to what apps you have or any apps that you might have the same as me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know if you want to see a what's on my Android as well, but I'll see you guys in the next one.